Welcome to Lesson 1 of musictheory.net, and we're going to go over Lesson 1, so click on this, and I want you to begin with the staff, clefs, and ledger lines. So we'll start with this, and the staff is the foundation upon which notes are drawn. The modern staff comprises 5 lines and 4 spaces, and every line or space on the staff represents a white key on the keyboard. So as it goes up, you could see each one, E, F, G, starts here on the E and goes all the way up to this F right here. And then clefs assign individual notes to certain lines or spaces. And there's many different clef signs, but we're going to just learn these two, which the treble clef and the bass clef are the most usual ones we do. Now, first, we will discuss the treble clef, and this one is also called the G clef because it wraps around this second line here, and the lines go from the bottom up, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so the second line, that's called a G note or a G line, so anything that falls on that line is called a G. And the note in the space above the G is an A. And also remember that in the musical alphabet, it only goes up to G, there's no H. So the next one would be B, and you can hear what these sound like by just pressing this little icon here, and it'll tell you what it sounds, and the process continues. So you have C, D, E, F, and G. But now if you want to go a little higher, what do you do with that? Well, there's a thing called a ledger line. Ledger lines will solve our dilemma. And they are little lines that extend the staff when we run out of room. So you put this little line here, and you can draw a note on top of that. And that is like extending the staff. G, A. And you can keep things going from there. Now let's take a look at the bass clef. This is also called the F clef because these two dots are on either side of the fourth line. And so the distance or the line between those dots is an F. And so any note that falls on that is called an F note. And it continues like we did before, F, G, A, and then you can also go down this way to see how they all work together with that. And finally, there's a thing called the grand staff. Now, theoretically, it's 11 lines, but it's hard to see anything. So what they did is they took the middle line out. And when you do that, it very nicely shows the treble clef and the bass clef. So you have a higher one, and for piano players, this would be for your right hand, and the bass clef, which is for your left hand. Now for guitar players, we read everything in the treble clef, and for bass players, we read in the bass clef. So these two staves are joined by middle C. That's what it's commonly called, and it is right in the middle of the grand staff. So now we're going to exit this lesson and go back over to exercises. And I'm going to have you do 4 exercises to see how well you understand what we just went through. And so the first thing I want you to do is go to note identification. And so we're just going to stick with the treble clef. Let's set this up right now with our gear or our settings. So we're going to set it up with the clef being only the treble clef. And the next one, the range is going to be from an E to an F, from the line number 1 to line number 5. And then we're going to use lines and spaces. We're also going to have one key signature, no sharps or flats. We're going to go by letter names, and we're going to keep the helpers on, so make it blue, and no accidentals, no note filter. The next question will be after audio, and then challenge mode is off. Right now it shows that 0, I've got 0 correct out of 0, and I have 0%. So what I want you to do is to do 20 of these with the helpers on. So that's your exercise 1A. Once you have finished exercise 1A, I want you to go to the 3 dots and press Show Progress Report. And put your name in. I'll put my name in. And sign the report. And now you have a link that you're going to send to me. So you copy the link, and then you go to like an email or whatever and send this to me at reggie@heartfeltmusic.org. And then you just put the link right here. It'll give you that link, and put exercise 1A and your name, and then you send it to me. And once you send it to me, then I will be able to get that right here, open that up, click on that, and see what your report was. And it'll have the information progress report for Reggie Codes, or for you, and I can see exactly what you've done. So that's exercise 1A. So now we're going to go back, and I'd like you to do the same thing but without the helpers on. And so I want you to do 20 of those. So that would be a G, goes to the next one, E. So do 20 of those, and then do the same thing, show progress report, and copy link, and then email it to me. And then after you've done that, we're going to go back. Instead of note identification, we're going to go to note construction. So exercise 1C is going to be a note construction, and we're going to set it up the same way with treble clef. We want these to be from an E to an F, and lines and spaces. Signature, no sharps or flats. Note names, letters. Helpers on, and then question mode, let's leave it at any octave. And difficulty, it must be on level 1, because we don't want any accidentals but only diatonic notes. And then leniency, we'll keep it at strict. And note filters off. Next question after audio, and leave reset answer off, and challenge mode off. Okay, so I want you to do 20 of these. So how you do this is it tells you what note you're supposed to identify, and you move this one either by using it with the mouse to a D. Now there's 2 Ds. There's this one here, because that's a D, or there's a D also below. It's not going to let me do that. So you got to go to this D within the octave. And I can move also this way by clicking on the arrows. Okay, so there's my D. I submit answer. I got one correct. Now it says F, so now I need to put this to where the F is, right there. Submit that. I got that. So then show progress report. Put your name in here, and sign it, and copy the link and send that to me. And then for exercise 1D, the fourth thing, we want to just change take off the helpers. So now I want you to do 20, identifying them without the helpers on. So find an E, and put that there, submit that, and actually I wanted to reset the score because make sure it's at 0, so we're starting over. And so find out what that was. An F is right there, could be here, or could be there. And next one is an E, could be there, or could be there. There's 2 of these. And a C right here. So I did get 3 correct. So for the last one, the 4th exercise here, I want you to go show me the 4th progress report, put your name in, and sign it, copy it, and then send it to me so that I can look at it and give you some feedback. All right, you've got a week to do this, and we'll talk about it the next lesson. Thank you.